Doctor Who rumours, something we have all spoken about at one point in our life or another, and that is going to be the topic of discussion today, as I will be joined by confused Adipose as we go through some of your weirdest Doctor Who rumours. But before we get into it, if you could do me a teeny tiny little favour and click that subscribe button, I'd be very much grateful. If you don't know already, the channel got hacked by crypto people, which stunted the growth of the channel significantly. So if we could get the channel to be growing to the rate it was before, that would be absolutely great. Also, if you are new around here and you want to take part in these videos, be sure to follow me on Twitter. But with that said, let's get into the video. So, Mr. Confused Adipose, what do you think about the...
You should host Good Morning Britain.
I really should.
I think you've got a real talent for this.
I am absolutely impeccable. What do you think about the latest David Tennant returning rumour? As that's the biggest one to come out of the last, I don't know, couple of weeks. How long has it even been going on for? I don't know.
I think that it makes for a cracking YouTube video
It
title,
really does, doesn't it?
but probably it's not 100% accurate, especially the 14th Doctor stuff. I don't buy that. I don't think.
No, I don't either. I think I saw something earlier on Twitter, actually. It was kind of funny. I saw this, because I knew we were recording this, that apparently the guy who originally said that this was going to be a thing said the 10th Doctor and Donna, not the 14th Doctor.
Yeah.
And the Herald, whatever it's called, that reputable news site has gone...
spread and spread and spread.
14th Doctor. Yeah. It's like sort of like Chinese whispers, where it sort of started off as one thing and has kind of mutated into this whole other thing. So,
allegedly, what that guy said, because I've read up on it through the Reddit stuff, all of his comments, he put DT plus CT, which implies David Tennant, Catherine Tate, and then he said something weird about them not playing the 10th Doctor and Donna specifically, which I think people then ran with that as, oh, David Tennant is the 14th Doctor.
I think the more likely scenario, if there is any truth to that at all, is that 10 might come back to do some of the 60th stuff. I think that makes sense to me. I wouldn't even mind if he was the main one, to be honest. I know some people...
I'm almost certain that we will get David Tennant back over the 60th anniversary period. Doctor Who, it will do, especially with Russell T Davies. But then, I don't know, part of me thinks if they're going straight for Series 14 and not specials, then we're not going to see any returning Doctors. But if they're doing a special, almost 100% we will get multi-Doctor stuff.
Most definitely. I think we will get something, even if it is, like I said, maybe just some specials with the 10th Doctor, and maybe the 14th Doctor gets introduced at the end. Maybe have little cameos from the others. Because we sort of, we both made, in recent videos, that Dark Dimension comparison, and I think that's probably what I could see, where he's the leading one, and you might see the others pop up in different places.
That's such a great clip. It should go on the Tharries clips channel.
The Tharries highlights
just
channel,
discussing the David Tennant rumours.
I might make that a clip. Who knows? But we're going to get into some of the more wacky rumours from Doctor Who history. Call me the ghosts of Doctor Who rumour past, because that was
real smooth.
Yeah, I was trying to make that sound way cooler than it was. We're gonna be reading Twitter. We're crispy pro in the situation, if you like. All right, so let me find a good one to start. So I'll cut that out, obviously.
You can't cut that out. You have to keep that in.
Keep it all in.
This is the ghost of Tharries.
Oh, I'm gonna keep that in. That'll stay in. At Regenerating Fan says, there was going to be a cat in the TARDIS for Jodie's era. Now, I remember this one. Do you remember this one?
Good old Percy was his name?
Yeah,
Percy?
It was Percy the cat.
Percy the cat.
This was back in the Ace Creeper Series 11 days. I honestly believed that one up until became very obvious that it wasn't going to be a thing. And I don't think I'd be opposed to another pet on the TARDIS, because we've had K9 and stuff.
I think the thing is, it just depends on how it's used, because K9 works in some of the stories he's in, but then also other times he's just sat there and it's what's the bloody point? Yeah. And I think maybe a cat that's just there sort of and never leaves the TARDIS control room, something like that could be quite cool.
It'd be quite cute.
But also, do you remember at that time, the reason everyone was this cat is definitely real is because there was this script that was allegedly leaked, and it had like Jodie Whittaker's signature, Bradley Walsh, Tossin Cole, Mandip Gill, and John Barrowman, Eve Miles, and then a cat's paw print. It's like, what was that?
Can you imagine if he just bring back Torchwood in his first series? I'd admire the balls bit. But, like, I don't know how anyone thought that was going to be, like, a thing. That time for Rumours was so interesting, though, because, like, I remember there was that whole thing about the sniper bots being, like, the Sontarans or, like, the Jadoon. Like, there were so many, like, different speculative things for what they were as well.
And it all was waffle.
It was all waffle, yeah. It was all wrong. There isn't much of those original Rumours that I can remember that were right.
That's, I think, one of the contributing factors that led to Series 11 being sort of a universal disappointment.
Yeah.
Was online, we'd read these brilliant, like, and then the Sontarans come back and they're doing this and then it just didn't happen.
Yeah.
But what's weird, and it could just be complete coincidence, but the key rumours about Series 11, Chibnall did later. Now, is that Chibnall seeing the rumours and going, they wanted Captain Jack, I'll give them Captain Jack. They wanted a bunch of Sontarans having a war, I'll give them Sontarans having a war. Is it that, or was that always the plan?
Yeah, that's interesting. Like, it would be kind of funny to me if he saw the rumours and went, actually, you know what? That's not a bad idea,
that. And the Sea Devils, like, they've been rumoured for God knows how long. I mean, has he seen that and gone?
Yeah, very much. Like, the Sea Devils, like, that whole thing, I am very excited to see them because, like, they look so good as well. Yeah, Sea Devil hype. Be big in this.
I'm trying to think of a water pun, but I can't think of one. Drop one in the comments if you've got a good one.
The Sea Devils got good drip.
That was painful.
You said you wanted a water pun, and that's what I gave you.
That was sensational. No, phenomenal. Wow.
Can we flood the comments with Sea Devils got drip, please? Ben Kingsley as Davros. That comes from Black Phoenix 77. Now, I only know Ben Kingsley from Iron Man 3. You know, he played the Mandarin in that. Yeah. So, I don't know where that one came from. I never heard that myself. I'd like to see Davros back. Whether Ben Kingsley'd be able to pull it off, I don't know. I can't say I've seen enough of his work to...
He doesn't strike me as a very Davros-y actor.
No, I suppose, but then if you look at, like, Julian Bleach, out of the prosthetics, I suppose...
No, Julian Bleach is very Davros. Because like, even in Torchwood, he's got that evil, weird, exaggerated, I'm going to kill you sort of thing going on. Whereas Ben Kingsley is much more comedic, I think.
Yeah, I suppose that is true. I mean, the concept of Davoros coming back, I'm quite surprised Chibnall didn't do it, to be honest. I was fully expecting a Chibnall Davoros story, because, like, it just seems like the sort of thing he'd want to do. It's a big classic Who villain.
I mean, maybe he's going to come back in the Centenary special. It's very unlikely, but the forces that mass against you, oh no, who could it be?
I'm half convinced Tim Shaw's just going to rock up again and be like...
I swear to God, Tim Shaw, I'll become a Not My Doctor. I will actually become a Not My Doctor. I will just convert into horrific bigotry and blow up YouTube.
Can you imagine, though, like the Master's trying to do this grand reveal of all its allies, and he just gets, like, the racist from those Tim Shaw, and, like...
Tim Shaw? Is that Tim Shaw? Who are you? Are you the racist bloke that tried to stop Rosa Parks? It's just... Control yourself, please. Don't do it.
I just get a feeling like the Centenary is just going to be all of his ideas thrown at a wall, and like 90% of it may or may not stick. It's going to be a weird one. That episode.
I hold out hope. I'm optimistic. I think it's going to be good.
I love that you have the optimism. Following on from the whole David Tennant thing, then this one says that Matt Smith would be 13, and this comes from Becca Books. Now I don't remember this one. Yeah, well, it clearly was, because he's not 13 now.
I don't know why I'm saying that as if I've just... that goes against my theory.
Yeah, it seems like that hasn't been completely disproven over like the last 5 years.
Same thing with the David Tennant rumour. It's going to come up every time there's a new Doctor. Because I remember way back when it was switching from Matt Smith to Capaldi, everyone was saying, oh, it's going to be Billy Piper or Christopher Eccleston or Miranda for some reason.
Miranda.
It's like,
I love
why
that list.
Miranda's there.
It's great. Christopher Eccleston, Billy
Christopher
Piper,
Eccleston, Billy
Miranda.
Piper, Miranda. It's just like throwing off 3 random names.
Yeah. The only time I remember like it being properly rumoured that Matt Smith was coming back is for Twice Upon a Time. I remember that being a big point of speculation. And I actually wouldn't have minded that because like Twice Upon a Time is a very Moffat ending. It's a lot of his sort of plot threads that get wrapped up. You know, you see Rusty there, and you know,
it's a nice epilogue as well to the whole Moffat era.
So like, I wouldn't have minded that. Yeah,
Capaldi's actual final episode is basically the Doctor Falls. Like that's where he gets all the heroic moment, and then bring back Matt Smith, David Bradley, Capaldi for an epilogue episode, which is Twice Upon a Time.
Yeah, because it'd be kind of fitting as well. Because I watched Deep Breath the other day, and obviously Smith rings up Clara to be like, help him, Clara. Help him, please. You know, he doesn't know who he is. So if he were to come back at the end of 12's life cycle, I think that'd be quite nice. But, you know, it didn't happen, so I don't know why I'm saying
it. Would be like poetry.
It would rhyme. It would.
Shout out to George Lucas.
Speaking of things that rhyme, it's somewhat ironic that we're doing this video now because, like, one of our first videos that we did together was David Tennant returning for Revolution of the Daleks, which aged phenomenally. Again, poetry. It rhymed.
Wow, respect.
We're so thematically deep.
Oh my god.
Wow. Someone thinks they're really funny here and just said surely just anything from a Tharries leak video.
That's true. No, that is true.
I'm a move on swiftly. Well, I mean, you know, it's not wrong.
Disgraceful.
Someone said the same thing about the cat, but apparently it was a robot cat. I don't remember that.
I think that was speculation about the nature of the cat, which is a very strange sentence. But I think people were going, hang on, you can't have a live cat, then you wouldn't have a CG cat on the BBC's budget. They want to do a canine type thing. So you've got Cat 9.
Bill Murray as Garfield just there.
Yes, A Tale of Two Kitties returns.
Can you just imagine like 13 doing her big like exposition and like fucking Bill Murray's just there being like, lasagna. The Ronnie ever coming back. Yeah. There's been so many occasions where they've gone, oh my god, the Ronnie, and it's just not the Ronnie.
The only person that I really trust to bring back the Ronnie and make it actually interesting and have a purpose is Russell T Davies.
Yeah.
Because the Ronnie is just Missy, but more boring. Yeah, and not the Master.
In the 80s, if you watch like her stories, it is literally just, it's the Master again. You know, we kind of have a female Master already, as you said, in Missy. Yeah. So like, I don't really know what the desire is to see the Ronnie back.
Whereas like Sea Devils, Omega, whatever, they all have reason to come back. They're good. You can explore them in new ways. The Ronnie is just a random Time Lord woman of evilness.
I feel like if the Ronnie were to come back, I'd want it to be like, I'd want them to play up the theatrics of it to like a really high degree. I feel like such a reason the Ronnie is so enduring is like the weird lines that she'll have, you know, like in Dimensions in Time and stuff, where she's like, say goodbye, doctors, you're all going on a journey, a very long journey. Have the Master be the quote-unquote serious Time Lord that the Doctor comes up against. Maybe have the Ronnie just be like a bit of a fun one, you know? Like, obviously still evil, but not, you know, in the same sort of way.
Not world-ending threat level.
I remember back when Series 5 was airing, people thought Rory was going to be revealed as the Master. This one, a few people suggested the idea of Rory being the Master. And to be fair, right, I could sort of see it in so much as, like, if you look back at the arc of Amy and Rory, Rory's life kind of gets screwed over by the Doctor. Like, in the beginning, at the very least. Like, he's about to get married to the woman he's loved for all these years.
Amy is a horrible person.
Well, you know, let's not get into this. I think she's
absolutely awful, abusive.
I mean, you know, I can't defend that, but what I will say is, like, I do think she learns that, oh, what I did was wrong before, and Rory...
Yeah, she learned, oh, maybe I shouldn't beat up my husband and make up with strangers, and... Yeah, what a great, nice character. Nice one, Amy.
Well, anyway...
Think about what you've done. Go and sit in the corner.
I feel like I'm being told off. I feel like I'm being told off. I feel like you're about to full on Chris Eccleston me. Just go to your room. Go to your room.
Your head in shame.
I just like Amy. Anyway, yeah, like Rory's life kind of gets screwed over by the Doctor. So, like, I don't know, the idea of him turning out to be evil, I could maybe see, like, maybe not the Master specifically, but the idea of him going, you know what, Doctor? Screw you. You screwed over my life, you know, and I'm gonna blah. I don't know.
And I'm angry now.
Yeah, like, because you know how, like, with Adam Mitchell, he kind of joined the TARDIS and then sort of used it to his own ends. And in the comics, I think he became, like, a full-on villain, I think. Like, I could see a similar thing for that, where it's like, you took everything from me, you took the love of my life, you took all this, and then you wouldn't be entirely wrong, to be fair.
It would literally be the Thanos meme. It would be that you took everything from me. I don't even know who you are.
Yeah. Someone else said the Ninth Doctor was actually the Master in disguise. I don't know where that came from.
No idea where that came from.
I assume it's because, at the time, Christopher Eccleston was a very dark version of the Doctor. Like, we hadn't really had a Doctor that was so in tune with their, like, rage and anger as Eccleston's Doctor was.
I could see maybe people looked at filming photographs and stuff, and from an outside view, saw this guy going around all dark, leather jacket, whatnot, and thought, hang on, they're tricking us. Actually, that's going to be the Master. I could see how that would work, but other than that, no.
It's interesting to me that, like, even going back to, like, when the show was first revived, there were still these bonkers theories about this person's actually the Master. Like, they never stopped.
Yeah.
You know? They were always...
I think that's just quintessentially Doctor Who fan is getting way too excited over literally nothing and then waffling.
God, yeah. Do you remember on Twitter the other night, there was that whole thing about the 14th Doctor's going to be revealed, and then it just... nothing happened, and I was just like...
Yeah. Like, why would they reveal it on a random dodgy TV account on Twitter at 12 o'clock on a random day?
Like, I knew it wasn't, but at the same time, I still stayed up to midnight. So who's the real fool, you know? Someone said if you go to Doctor Who Cuttings Archive, you can find loads of tabloid rumours from the first Davies era. Wait, really? Doctor Who and the sex-mad Britney clones.
Sorry, what?
That's an official, like, that was a tabloid that was released. It was the Daily Star on the 26th of January.
That explains a lot.
2007. I think that's enough of that.
Yeah, I don't think we need any more of that.
Yeah, Daily Star, get your act together, for God's sake.
Can you hear the person loudly and aggressively cutting the grass outside of my window?
No, I can't actually. If you'd like to, subscribe to Joe, aka the Confused Answers.
Not if you'd like to. I think you really need to subscribe to Confused
It's mandatory.
You should also check out Doctor Who Echoes End, an unofficial fan film written and directed by myself. There's a cameo from Tharries.
There is. It's the best.
You've got to find the Tharries cameo. You'll get a free biscuit if you go over to Echoes End and comment with the timestamp of the Tharries cameo, you will get a 100% real free biscuit from Tharries.
Wow. Wait, hang on, what is it from me? Hang on, I didn't agree to
your house next day delivery.
Thank you all for watching, and I will see you later.
Goodbye.
I'm gonna stop. Oh my god, I'm keeping that in. Quick shout outs to Debs Iona, Shane Smith, Patrick Mewson, Bree Kevin, Seb Lowndes, Jay Monroe, Preston, Hash Shandycoot, and Human Being. If you want to become a member, feel free to do so. It really helps out. You get exclusive posts, shout outs in every video, and even your own badge and custom emojis to use during live streams.